Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not Blue, and it's time for the week's weekly haul. I've got some good stuff here, stuff that's coming out, well, when you're watching it today, arrived early for me, luckily enough, so I could put it into this video. Some rather nice steelbooks and some pickups from the Arrow Shocktober sale, and I hope you're going to like them all. So yeah, there's a nice little pile over here, and it includes some imports and all sorts of things. So I'm hoping you're going to be interested by a lot of it. Keep watching; it's coming very, very soon. Right, first up we have a release which I think is out on Monday, which is the day that I hope you'll be watching this. If you haven't, it was the Monday before this will be available, um, and that is the 4K for the new release for Guns of Navarone. Upgrade for me from the rather nice Blu-ray that I've already got. Uh, but it's I don't want to overuse the word classic, but it is it's a World War II massively famous boys' own inverted commas adventure with a great cast. Gregory Peck, David Niven, Anthony Quinn going in to take out a large German gun battery, which is cutting off entrance, a sea canal entrance or whatever, to certain area. I should probably have said this better, but essentially there's a narrow sea passage which is covered by the guns, and the Allied forces have to get in to rescue trapped Allied forces on the other side, but they can't until those guns are taken out. So they send in the squad, and really looking forward to rewatching this. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but I'm thinking, since it must have been shot back then in like 35mm, when was it, 1961? That will have certainly been 35mm proper film, or even higher res. So it will be a proper 4K, no special effects or digital effects. So there'll be no intermediate, no nothing. I'm pretty sure, I'm confident this is going to look absolutely stunning. Again, when I was downstairs, the light looked a lot better than it is now. But so I'm not sure what the audio is. I'm getting caught out by two things. I'm now getting caught out the same as last week, when I thought I'd record a bit earlier, but I totally forgot the fact that all the clocks changed last night. Luckily I didn't forget when I got up this morning or anything. But I'm almost hoping now the big guns get to fire properly, because this has been upgraded to Atmos as well as the new 4K picture. So I think that's going to be a stunning upgrade from the Blu-ray. Looking forward to seeing that. And for what's worth, there are some places say there are two versions of the film on there. It's not really two versions. There's a 161-minute one that you can pick, or the 154 or something like that. The 160 odd one is because that puts in the original cinema intermission. So because it's a 160, like I said, 161 minutes, which is quite a long time to sit still. So It even puts in an intermission for you. If you need a loo break, you can wait that long. Anyway, next up, this is another one that is out on 1st of November. And this is a TV series. This is the next season of The Crown. I think it's a stunning series. My wife and I both enjoy it very much indeed. As it gets closer to the modern day, I think it becomes a little bit more, as been pointed to me, a little bit more controversial, because you're now talking about people who have families who are, they were there at the times of the events and whatever, and they might be much more affected by the, shall we say, dramatic element being introduced, where they're guessing a little bit and filling in the blanks to make it a little bit less historically accurate. I mean, all the way through, they've never said they were 100% historically accurate, but it didn't seem to matter so much to a lot of people when that historical inaccuracy was going back 60 odd, 70 odd years. But then when it comes down to stuff that happens in your own lifetime, it might make a bit of a difference. If this, by the way, looks slightly different than the one you might get, this is because this is the Amazon exclusive. Now, I don't think there's it's a significant exclusive other than the fact that it has a slightly different colour and surround slip case. So, and in actual fact, to be fair to Amazon, I think they actually charge a penny less for their own exclusive than they do for the regular. So it's not like they're trying to go, oh, we've got an exclusive. It's only a slip, but we're going to charge you loads and loads for it. No, I think I'm pretty sure they charge you the same or practically less for their own exclusive. It's just a little bit different, if you'd like that. And I actually have got all that. When they have done exclusives, I have done them. I have bought them, sorry. This next one came out last week, I believe. I didn't actually realise it was coming out. It's a Zavvi exclusive. It's a steelbook. But it's not only a steelbook, it's like a collector's edition type thing, and that is for Carlito's Way. That's the 4K steelbook. I'm not normally unlike most people, I'm not normally a big fan of mafia type films. I just don't get on with The Godfather. I don't like the respect for people just because they're vicious and evil and they're on just because they happen to be on your side temporarily. Maybe the reason I get on with this one is that Carlito is trying to give up that life, even though they keep on trying to push him back into it after he's released from a short prison stretch, an early release. It's a very nice package, and though normally I would have preferred if they had sold me just the steelbook at a cheaper price rather than including all the nice extras you can see. Obviously, I think it's behind there. But there isn't that option. You get the steelbook. If you want the steelbook, you get it in this collector's type edition, or you don't get it. I think potentially, like the Sting, I could maybe have picked it up from the US, or would have been able to pick it up from the US. Probably have to do it via eBay, because it would probably have been something like a Best Buy exclusive, and Best Buy, I found very difficult to actually get anything from, because I don't think they send to the UK. So, however, when I did it with the Sting, just because I only wanted Steelbook and I wanted to save a bit of money, I bought the US one via eBay, I think it was, without the extra booklet and poster and stuff, or whatever it is. I'll read it out in a minute, to save some money, and then found out that by the time I imported it and paid the extra and etc., I might as well have bought the Zavvi exclusive and actually thrown all the stuff up, the extra bits away. But it just felt wrong to me to throw these extra bits away once I've got them. But they do take up extra on the shelf, which makes life difficult. Special features on this one are the deleted scenes, making of, Brian De Palma being interviewed about the original promotional featurette and trailer, but this one has the rigid slipcase. It says it's got spot gloss UV finish. No, I don't know whether it really does have ultraviolet. Seems odd to me, but who knows? I'll put it in the dark, maybe one day and I'll tell you if it's true. Obviously it's got the steelbook. That's a 32-page booklet. It's got 4 art cards housed in an envelope and a proper postcard, and that will be slipped in. I don't know if you can see that. They're both red, but that's a slightly different red. I think that's what those are. So yeah, that's the back. If you want to read any extras, and freeze that there. I'll try to hold it still as possible. But yes, I've always actually quite liked this one. One of my favoured movies of that oeuvre. And you know, Al Pacino, Sean Penn, can't really go too far wrong in my opinion. This one is a movie that I know has split opinion. The annoying thing on this one for me is that so many times recently I've noticed that the regular covers of these movies have been average or a little bit pants, technical phrase, but steelbooks, to be honest, have not been that much better. Whereas in this particular case, whether or not you like the movie, I think the actual cover for the release on Amray is actually very, very nice. But I also loved the limited edition exclusive steelbook, and that is for M. Night Shyamalan, or if you're a big Paulie, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dongs, Old. Like I said, I know that the film itself splits opinion, as does the director himself. I know that like I said, the artwork on the main release, or the regular release, is with the legs side by side, one of which is tanned and covered nice with flesh, and the other one disappearing back to bone and growing old and decrepit, whatever, is actually a really nice, effective image. But I also think this extremely simple, but I think personally very, very effective image of an hourglass of people, bodies falling through time is incredibly effective. It may be simple, and I don't think I haven't seen it used in any other circumstance connected with the film apart from this Amazon exclusive steelbook. And It's always nice to see Amazon doing an exclusive rather than Zavvi. I mean, actually anybody instead of just Zavvi all the time. But I had to open it up because one of the discs had come loose, so I might as well show you the whole thing. So yes, you've already seen it, but that's the front. As you can see, it's, as it gets more detailed down to the bottom, you can see it's people falling from the upper half. And on the back, it's, the hourglass is now filling up even more with the same images of people falling through time and filling up the bottom half of the hourglass. Very, very much looking forward to seeing this. I haven't actually seen it, even though I have bought the 4K and I know it splits opinion. I'm someone who is willing to take risks. I'm lucky enough to be in the situation. I'm not trying to have a go at anybody else. I'm very, very lucky enough to be in the situation where I do have enough money to splash out and risk things that I may or may not like, and see whether I do. I get the feeling that I'm going to like this, and normally when I get a feeling on these things, I'm right, but we shall see, of course. I'm just going to wrap that around it because I don't want to get it crushed when I put anything else on top of it. Right. No habit of wrap around stuff that's stuck to my fingers. That's going to be a pain for ages. Now on to a few things that I picked up in the Arrow sale. It was the Shocktober 40% off, and that's was usually 40% off the price that, not the recommended retail, that was the 40% off the price that the particular store was selling them for already, which was obviously lower than that usually. And I took advantage. So starting off with Gamera, the show era. It's a serious number of cases in there, and just moving aside, sorry, all those to make sure I get them all in. I'll hold it up as I read those. I'm holding up the right way. Good. This goes through Gamera the Invincible from 1966. Gamera Super Monster. I'm not actually going to read out the alternative titles on all of these because otherwise I'll be here all day. Gamera versus Zigra. Gamera versus Jigger. Gamera versus Guidron. Gamera versus Viras. Now that one has the director's version, the theatrical version, and the US extended version. All good, so loads of stuff for you there. Gamera versus Gaios, and Gamera versus Barugon, and Gamera the Giant Monster. So I think I've got those in alphabetical order rather than release order, I'm afraid. That's my fault. Yeah, they go right back to, they should have started in 1965 with that final one, the Giant Monster. Then they go through from 66 up to Gamera's Super Monster, which was 1980. So yeah, it's a very worthwhile set to get at 40% off on top of what they're normally reduced to. So I think the official price is something around the £60 mark. I picked it up for about 24, something like that. I think the Shocktober event is over, I'm afraid, but I imagine that Arrow will have a sale in the future. Just to keep an eye out. And of course, when I accidentally said they, that's because I also got Gamera, the Heisei era. Same situation, produced in rice, and this one starts in doesn't say. Just having to work it out, so I'm looking down. Looks around the 1995 type time, and this that's starting with Gamera Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2, Attack of the Legion, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris. Then some 7 years after that, Gamera the Brave. Each one of those gets its own case. And obviously being Arrow, I can expect all sorts of wonderful goodies. I'm not going to obviously go through them for every single title, but I'm just picking out one here at random. And I think that it will get very, very similar. I'll just double check that. Yeah, pretty similar on all of them. Okay, Gamera the Guardian of the Universe here. We've got, on all of them, they've got high def transfers, including 4K restorations, original Japanese, dubbed English at DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and 2.0, optional English subs, reversible sleeves featuring original and newly commissioned art. Disc 1 I'm just going to read out, which is Gamera and the Guardian of the Universe. That's got a commentary, newly filmed introduction, Testimony of 15 Years Part 1, first in an epic 3-part documentary, which I'm strongly going to suspect is it goes on to the other discs. Interviews with the director, extended interview about the special effects, behind the scenes footage about the production, the alternative English credits, trailer and image gallery. Yeah, I mean, Arrow have done the job again. Seem to have done a fantastic work and produced probably the best. Certainly you're going to get them, unless you can maybe get maybe even better than you can get from the original sources and country, and you happen to be able to speak the original language. So that's absolutely something. I'm very, very pleased to be able to pick those up for such a small price compared to the originals. And you know, as is the tradition with these two sets, you have to hold them up and do that. Yep, lovely. Right, going on before the light goes away again. Another Arrow title picked up in the Shocktober. So no, I'm not sure particularly why this is a Shocktober title, but when someone says, "Do you want 40% off?" I say yes. This is 2-film pack of the Pistol for Ringo and the Return of Ringo. 2 films by Duccio Tessari. Brand new 2K restorations of both films from the original Negs. Original Italian and English soundtracks in uncompressed mono audio. Newly translated English subs. Optional English subs for the deaf and hard of hearing. Always nice to see them both separated out. So if you are actually hard of hearing, you'll get the extra information. But if you just want to watch, or you just want to be able to glance down and see the translation of the what they're saying, then maybe it's quicker than rather than watching the whole thing. Audio commentaries for both films by a couple of spaghetti western experts. Archival featurette. Another archival featurette with camera operators, revisiting films with a new video with a critic, fan of the films, gallery of the original promo images, reversible sleeve with original and newly commissioned artwork, as is quite common with Arrow titles. I'm very pleased to have this. My spaghetti westerns I do enjoy, and I could do with having a few more good ones. Talking of which, I've just put one of the big recent releases. I think you might be able to guess what it is on my Christmas list, so hopefully that'll be coming up after then. I think the last one I picked up as part of the Shocktober Money Off event was The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. Twisty whodunit, gothic chills, gripping horror thriller hybrid, where the troubled aristocrat, haunted by the death of his first wife Evelyn, tries to move on, marrying the seductive Gladys. Marital bliss is short-lived as various relatives meet untimely and gruesome deaths, prompting speculation that vengeful Evelyn has risen from the grave. And given the title, I'm suspecting she might do. Again, fantastic for 2K restoration from the original Neg, original mono Italian and English lossless DTS HD master audio, newly translated English subs, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. You know my opinion on that already. New audio commentary, exclusive introduction, new interview with film critic, exclusive interviews with Erica Blank. Now, is she Evelyn? I have a suspicion she might be, given the fact that they just say her name like that. I'm just going to put it up here. I'm going to say yes, she is, or no, she's not. Still Rising from the Grain, archival interview with production designer, original Italian theatrical trailer of a reversible sleeve with newly commissioned artwork, or the original. I actually really quite like this new artwork, so I don't know what I'm going to go with because I haven't seen the original yet. Right, moving on, we have some American imports This one is rather nice. I ordered it a little while ago, took a while to turn up though, even though it's brand new. There were all sorts of problems with distribution in the US. I forget who's done a fantastic YouTube video on it. When I remember, I think it's Films at Home, or I will definitely put a link down in the description where he describes about especially American movies and obviously with their knock-on effect worldwide as to why a lot of things are being delayed or getting slower deliveries, connected with the fact that all the production plants, bar one, have been in America, have been moved to Mexico to save money. Mexico has been hit with COVID. You've got import problems. The authoring houses in America, there are only 2 left. They deal with all the big studios and all the independents. And they are apparently being run totally at the top by something like 2 people who are working, 20-hour days to try and get all this stuff through. And the company and the owners just don't see that they need to recruit more people, despite the fact that what's very, very interesting is that he hears from industry insiders that the demand for Blu-rays, the number of Blu-rays and 4Ks that are actually being demanded or wanted is actually highest since Blu-ray was launched, despite all that everyone's saying about streaming. They're actually starting to push back potential. Maybe this is my supposition. They're starting to push back in certain countries more against DVDs. Doesn't seem to be the case in the UK, unfortunately. And the actual fact are making huge amounts of the discs that need to go out, but they can't even get the masters in time to the authoring houses that are out of country to then try and import them and send them over the world. So it's so bad that in certain countries they've even decided that they're just going to cancel the releases and not send them because it's, they haven't even got enough for themselves. But anyway, enough of that. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. It's quite a very interesting video. Very useful information. This is the US release of The Protege. Again, as is my wont, I am big keen on the female assassin, best assassin in the world type movies. This is a new one, and she's played by Maggie Q, always excellent in that sort of role. And you've got Samuel L. Jackson there too, along with Michael Keaton as her opposition, I believe, in this one. Has received quite a lot of criticism from what I see, but at the same time, I've received, or I heard anecdotal stuff on people who've seen it going in blind who said it's a lot better than the criticism implies, and not seeing why it's getting such hate, so I'm going to judge for myself. This, I believe, this is this 4K. Obviously, the 4K won't be locked. I'm not sure about the Blu-ray. If you want to see in the extras, I'm not sure. Yeah, they've got. Oh, it says the 4K's got special features on as well, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's got commentary, making of, deleted scene, and trailer, so not too much. They can all put it on 4K. So you could get this. Well, it is whether or not you have, as long as you've got 4K. I don't know what the Blu-ray region locking is or not, because it's certainly not available in the UK. It is available in Germany, so you can get a region B version. But if you're interested in the 4K, I would certainly spend the extra money, get the American one. Yes, you can get the German 4K cheaper, but the German 4K doesn't have Atmos, which the US one, this one, does. Just saying, so my recommendation. This is an upgrade from a film that I'm a huge fan of. I've only got the UK DVD. I've been waiting for a good Blu-ray of it for some time. That is Brotherhood of the Wolf. I believe it's a French film. Original title Le Pack de Loup. This is the new collector's edition from, I think it's Scream Factory. Yep. Deleted scenes and introduction, Guts of the Beast, making of, Legend theatrical trailer. I would have liked it if I could have got all the different versions of the film. The UK one is heavily cut back. Then there's another, the US theatrical, which isn't quite as cut back. I don't think it's to do with the trying to cut out nasty bits or anything. I just think it's the way they were made for different parts of the world. But most of them, like this US one, is the extended version, which is an extra 20 minutes or so, I think. 151 up to, I can't remember, this full version. So there's an awful lot of film there. Great movie, not quite what you'd necessarily expect. Loves nice twists and acting, and based on probably loosely based on events that did happen in France around that time. The one thing I must say, like I said, that I did want to get a copy with the extended and the theatrical version, but there's only one version release Blu-ray in the world that has both of those on it. Obviously that doesn't include the UK version, which is cut too far back and misses some important plot points. And that the version that would have been the German release, but the German release does not have an English dub for if you want to be able to follow without reading, which I occasionally will do. I'm sure I will watch with the original language and subtitles, normally, especially at first. However, something I should certainly bring to mind and let you know about here is, one, this US version is region A locked, and two, there is a problem with the English subtitles on the film. Apparently there's lots of spelling mistakes and quite a few missed out sentences. It just disappears from the screen and goes blank. There's been a lot of complaints about it, especially considering that there are previous versions of the film with quite properly done subtitles, which could have been taken and ported over. Now, whether or not there's a problem with copyright there, you can't just go out and copy somebody else's subtitles word for word, and that's why it went horribly wrong. I don't know, There is it has been accepted by Scream Factory. I think they're the same place, but with different names. But it has been accepted that they have messed up severely, and they are offering an exchange program for the disc if you can prove that you bought it. However, because it's a US release, they are only sending to US and US dependencies. So if I want to have this replaced, I either have to have a redirecting company in the US or somehow try and get it sent to someone I know out there who will send it on to me, and hope that the Screen Factory will, even if they see that the receipt that I have is for me in the UK, will send it to the address that I give them in the US. And then obviously I would still then have to pay for the shipping over of the replacement disc to my friend or contact, or the redirecting company. So they only just, this is quite a new release. It was only July, so this has only just been discovered, and they've only just pressed the new discs. So I'm 99.9% sure that this is going to have this problem, because they said the new discs that they're going to send out were only likely to be ready by mid-October. So the chances of them actually putting into actual going through Amazon releases in the original packaging are pretty much negligible. I think if you want this one, I would be, if I'd known about that, I would probably have tried to hold my nerve and waited until they started putting the corrected discs into the packaging, and waited until those went on sale and picked it up. But anyway, at least I can, if I want to watch it in dubbed format or in subtitle format, as long as I don't mind the misspellings or not particularly well translated stuff. This is another US import. This is a much older one. This one's fitting the theme for the week, and it's a double release. And again, I'm pretty sure this one is Region A locked, unfortunately, for those who don't have the option. And this is Love at First Bite and Once Bitten. Love at First Bite is 1979, with Count Dracula being forced to move out of his castle in Transylvania to make room for an Olympic training facility. Yes, they're both comedies. Moves to New York City. He's played in that one by George Hamilton. My favourite line for that one is one I still quote to this day, because we have a lot of foxes and whatnot outside in the road. In fact, there's a den down the road, which doesn't bother me, but not very popular with the neighbours as it happens. And we refer to them and the cats that roam outside, etc., as creatures of the night, as they do in the wolves, etc., in all the original older Dracula movies, and where George Hamilton in this one, instead of quoting the original line of "the creatures of the night, what such sweet music they make" when the wolves are howling in the mountains, sits there at his organ trying to play the music over the howling of the wolves, going, "Creatures of the night, shut up!" Anyway, going on, Once Bitten is more of a teen drama. I didn't realise. I just read the back, and it's Jim Carrey. I did not know that. I watched it long before he was famous. Must have been very young, Jim Carrey, and it's a, like I said, a teen humour vampire thing where a vampire countess must drink virgin blood once every certain number of years or fade to dust, and she discovers that in modern day America it's not so easy to find male virgins that are of age enough to be reasonable. So it's I found it a very funny film. There's a couple of good funny lines that I like in that one as well. I do remember, I know I don't know how well that one's going to stand up because it's been a very, very long time since I saw that on VHS. This next one is, I said this going for a bit, didn't I? Sorry. I'll try to speed things up, or at least minimise. This is a Zavi exclusive. This is a steelbook of The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg. Trying to sort out his double life, high stakes gambler, trying to get out from mortal danger, criminal underworld, etc. Spending too much money on his addiction. It says it's a life. One of the reviews was said it was a fantastic performance by him, but despite this being a Zavi exclusive and only 1,500 copies limited edition, they still have them left, and it's now going for under 12 quid, or that's what I picked it up for. So for some reason or other didn't catch on with the public how much they wanted it to. This is a recent release I thought I'd pick up for the season. This is The Monster with Joan Collins. Not necessarily regarded as the best of her movies, and known by a number of different titles. Cruelly, by some I've seen on forums point out the fact that it's also, as well as The Monster, it's also called Sharon's. I can't remember my own writing there. Is it Sharon's Baby? I Don't Want to Be Born. It's growing inside her and the devil within her. Were just renamed so people wouldn't realise it was the same movie and give it another go or buy it again accidentally. Because they wouldn't rewatch it if they realised it was the same thing they watched last time. It's a network release. They seem to have done a good job. It's got a brand new interview with the director and a number of other people, including the wardrobe supervisor, etc. Brand new audio commentary from a cult second features podcast team, theatrical trailer, and the titles to the version that is called I Don't Want to Be Born. There's an image gallery and a limited edition booklet, at least so far. It stars Joan Collins, Ralph Bates, Donald Pleasance, and Caroline Munro. I think Caroline Munro, most famous to me for Naomi, the helicopter pilot in James Bond, Spy Who Loved Me. One of the reasons that it's my favourite James Bond film, despite not being the best. I'm trying to actually start collecting just for the hell of it, I'm picking up as many Caroline Munro movies as I can. So yeah, and Donald Pleasance, Ralph Bates, you're always good at it, but apparently not best. Nevertheless, the one thing I would say to you is, if you're going to buy it and you're interested, don't get it from the usual suppliers. They're all after about £15 for it, or a little bit more depending on whether they're adding postage. You can get this direct from Network, like I did, for £11.50. Better support to the people who've put all the effort into making it, doing all the extras, doing the job, and also saving you money. So I would really honestly urge you to do that if you're interested in getting that little movie there. This one, next one is one I just picked up because I liked the sound of it. Brad Pitt, James Gandolfini, Ray Liotta in Killing Them Softly. Brad Pitt stars as a person who investigates and sets up targets for assassins, and feeds back the information so they can get the best kill, whatever, and he has to do an investigation into someone who took out a mob protected card game, and he has to track them down to restore order. And I think it's going to be quite an interesting little movie, and it's not too expensive at under £8 at the moment, so I'm trying to speed up a little bit for you. This one is Blood, the Last Vampire. It's based on the original anime. It seems to be a reasonably good, or here it's a reasonably good translation from the anime to a live action, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. It's 18 rated, so with strong bloody violence, I'm expecting that to honestly be the case. If it's 18 rated and there's no sex in it, then the bloody violence is going to be pretty darn strong, considering what you can get away with on a 15 nowadays, is the way I look at it. If you're interested in that sort of title, this is someone who is armed with a samurai. I think there are, yeah, that's it, like half human, half vampire, covert US government agency operative, goes after a super species of vampires inside a US military base, and preparing herself for action-packed, blood-shedding showdown with the original ultimate vampire. So, sounds like all action stuff. It's got some featurettes as well. Photograph gallery, theatrical trailer, and the manga trailer. Well, it says manga trailer, so I wonder whether they actually mean anime, and they've made the mistake that I don't anymore. No. And again, that was, as I was saying, that's not too bad if you're interested. That's only about £6.50 at the moment. This one, not sure how many people are into their rom-coms, but I don't know how good this one is. However, it's got Rufus Hound in it. I find him quite good. It's got Robert Webb in it. I find him very funny. It seems to have lots of nice stars, but then again, they obviously wouldn't put the 1 star, this is absolute rubbish on the front. There were any such reviews. It's all about an English society wedding where the best man decides to give the present of doing the wedding video, and as he does it, he ends up recording all sorts of snobbery and social attitudes that, when viewed back, is going to shock everyone. That sort of thing. So, I think it's certainly worth a look if you're at all interested in rom-coms with that sort of humour. Then give it a go, because it is the huge price that I got it for, at least at the time, from Amazon, of £1 and 5 of your English pennies. Come on. Just a couple more to go, and we have just moving on from Wonderful Last, where it was an adaptation from the anime. I do have a couple of little bits of anime. This one is called Trinity 7. I believe it's been a lot more expensive until recently. It's still not that cheap, but it started off at about, well, supposedly started off about 40 quid and has mostly been hanging around the 25 or so, and has suddenly dropped back down to about 15. So I picked it up before it went up again. It's fantasy situation with a chap who has magical abilities that needs training up to be a candidate for a demon lord, but he has to enroll in an academy where there are the Trinity 7, who are girls who have plans of their own, thus the 15 rating. So expect a bit of rudeness. This one is also anime, but it is rather different. This one honestly sounds like it has a plot that could very much be not applied to a lot of the anime that I buy. It sounds something like that could be very translated into a live action thriller drama, and could be incredibly interesting, and I honestly suggest that someone does. It's called Perfect Blue. It's 18 rated for strong violence, nudity and language, and it is quite strange in that it has slightly different emphasis on the storyline depending on whether you read the descriptions from different websites, Wikipedia, etc. The protagonist is 1/3 of a chart-topping girl pop group, and this description on the back says that she's keen to put this childish career of pop singer behind her and pursue something, becoming an actress, whereas I've also seen descriptions saying that the group starts to go downhill in popularity, so she decides to move to being an actress. I suppose it's just an emphasis thing. The fans are sceptical, and she soon discovers that the transition is nowhere near as easy as she'd hoped. So the fans essentially don't follow her, which sort of ties in with both ideas. However, after getting the part in a rather adult murder mystery drama, her life takes a turn for the sinister. The description on the back is probably more giving away more than another description I've seen, where she uncovers something that details her life in detail, and the fact that people around her start to be threatened or end up hurt or potentially, is it dead? I don't know, or get attacked. There's much more of an emphasis on other descriptions of the fact that she has trouble trying to separate out her new job and role and reality from whether she's becoming delusional or not, whether she's just being paranoid about these attacks on her friends and what she's found. And it's the other description struck me as a bit more Black Swanish, where she was getting so into her role she didn't know what was real and what wasn't. So I think it's the fact that it's apparently a very highly rated animated psychological thriller, very much based on someone's mental delusions and falling apart, is, you know, it's a lot more serious than you might see a lot of the anime type ideas that are either a bit sexy based, but with a good action storyline as well, enjoy, or pure action, or very sweet stuff from Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, however you like. It's this one. It has got English audio if you want it, or you can watch it in Japanese with English subtitles, and that is Perfect Blue. And that is everything I have to show you for this week. And I know it's gone on for ages, and I haven't even had a t-shirt change to cut out some bits and everything like that. So, gosh, it's all go, isn't it? Anyway, I do hope I managed to show you some stuff that you're interested in there, and I am sorry that the Arrow sale that I got some of it with, I believe finished yesterday, so it's a little bit, maybe it's a bit late and to told you about them. Maybe I should have tried to put something out sooner, but if I put out a video every single time I get a title, it's not going to work, I'm afraid. So yeah, I honestly hope that you did take advantage of the Arrow sale that was quite widely advertised. So I hope you enjoyed it and took advantage and got what you wanted out of it. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, got something out of it, caught a few titles there that you may or may not have known about. Some of them sounded interesting to you. Had a chance to maybe pick them up before they go out of print. Some information, for example, on audio tracks and which ones are still available despite the fact they're limited edition, what stuff's coming out today, what's maybe worth getting. If you're particularly interested in me doing any unboxings of any of that, please do let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to try and get something out. I haven't done many unboxings recently, being very busy at work, but I will do if I'm requested, and I shall try to do a quick unboxing and throw that in midweek for you, like I do honestly like to do. I do like to put out another video midweek to keep things moving along, of some kind or another. And again, before it gets too dark, as I was saying, if you liked the video, as I always say, please hit the like button and let me know. It's always nice to see, and it also helps the channel a great deal. If you haven't followed me already, please hit follow, and also hit that notification bell to be informed of when I do get out some more videos. The more people who watch them and comment and ask for them, the more I feel inspired to do them for you. It really does help me that when I know that people are watching and enjoying my videos. So please let me know. And like I said, if you can, join my Facebook group for this channel, and you can let me know on there. It's not just an announcement placed for me to let you know what's happening. I am really wanting to become more of a two-way interactive thing, as I've said before, though unfortunately it doesn't seem to happen. Please feel free to post there on things that you'd be interested in seeing from this channel, and I shall see what I can do for you. However, in the meantime, I visited Stark Industries Expo, and Tony gave me the glasses, so cheers.